Hey, Nation, this is a very special conversation with Larry Meador. Larry, how you doing?
I am doing well, sir. How are you?
Good, good. Hey, before we get into the good stuff about cyber insurance, which is that is just like one of the top three hot topics in the space right now. Tip of the hat that you and I share a media background. You were at CNET. I've done a lot of writing, and SMB Nation at the end of the day was an integrated media company with events. And so we have more in common than pulls us apart. Now that's good and bad because you and I know where the bodies are buried in modern media. Let me tell you.
Very true. Very true. And there's quite a few
So
to be found.
yeah. It was cool. I'll call it the 90s and 2000s, but boy howdy. I'll just leave it at that. Let's move on. You're at DataStream Cyber Insurance as a channel chief. So, first of all, a little bit about your background in the industry, including CNET, and then we'll talk about what does DataStream do and what do you do.
Absolutely, be glad to do that. So I have actually been in the channel, as we call it, for roughly 20 years now, 19, 20 years. Most of that time I was with CNET and actually at CNET Content Solutions. So cut my teeth there. But prior to getting in the channel, I was kind of in the retail channel and the retail side of things. Worked with the old defunct Circuit City, the old defunct Computer City, and I promise the fact that they're all out of business right now really had nothing to do with me. I just want to clarify that. But yeah, Circuit City, Computer City. Then I actually sold into every national consumer electronics and IT retailer in the country before I came over to the reseller side of the business with CNET, then GreenLink Networks, and now with DataStream.
Yeah, interesting. Everyone listening to this has awareness of cyber insurance. Okay, so we don't really need to define what is cyber insurance, but what is DataStream? What does that company do? Are you like Allstate?
You know what? We are a insurance broker. We're cyber insurance only. That's what we specialize in. And we're out there. We've actually got 30 as of right now. We're always adding more, but right now we've got about 30 carriers in our portfolio. So we're talking the big ones, Travelers, AIG, Cowbell, Coalition, CFC, many others. I don't have time to list them all.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so we've got everybody under our portfolio. And our core mission here is to get out there and help insure the SMBs that all of our MSP friends have as clients. But we can also, and I say this a little bit cautiously, we can help MSPs as well get cyber insurance as well as tech E&O insurance for their businesses. But unfortunately, the MSP reseller channel is just a very difficult vertical to get insurance for. So it takes a little bit longer time, and sometimes we don't have as many positive results, with good premiums and stuff like that. But we still can get out there and find probably more offerings than what you might be able to find on yourself. But so really looking at those SMBs, but we can also help the MSPs as well.
Yeah, I carried the bag as a day-to-day computer guy in the 90s and 2000s, and it was fun until it wasn't. Downloading drivers at 2 a.m. There comes a day where
Been there, done that.
Yeah, and so then I became a community, as you know, SMB Nation, and again, probably resembled CNET in more ways than we realize. And but I've been in conversations on my podcast series and just face to face that, with cyber insurance and where that's at today and being an MSP, I would exit the industry. I would exit the industry personally. Harry Brelsford would say, that's it, I'm done. 20 years, I didn't sign up for this. I'm going to go do a different kind of startup. And I'm a startup guy, so I already have a short attention span. Are you seeing that? Are you seeing old dudes like me who are like, I'm out. I didn't sign up for this.
No, I can't say we've seen a whole lot of that. What we do see is a lot of people who just don't know how to bring this into conversations with their clients. And as well as people that don't necessarily understand it themselves. And, we have unfortunately seen so many people come and say, oh, yeah, I got cyber insurance. And when we ask a couple of questions, it turns out they got a rider on their GL policy. And we often have to break the news to them that, okay, you really need a standalone cyber policy because most riders off of GL policies don't cover a whole lot. Matter of fact, we usually kind of say that might buy coffee for the first week if you do have an incident for the response team, the incident response team. That's all it's going to cover. You'd really need that standalone policy, though.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this is fascinating. So let's pretend I'm bored again, and I'm excited about this opportunity. And by the way, I've seen this in what I call the secular world or the real world, where people who were maybe corporate executives, and they get tapped on the shoulder at 50 at GE Medical and shown the door. They run off and become like flood insurance agents and this and that, right? Kind of career number two. Are you seeing that? Is that part of your sales force, career number two guys who maybe were MSPs and they sense opportunity? And you might not be seeing that.
No, not really seeing that, but you bring up a couple of things that's kind of funny, and that is, you get bored and you want to talk about insurance. Man, you must be really bored if you want to talk about insurance. But you talk about guys in their 50s all of a sudden kind of jumping, and I make a joke often when I'm speaking to people is that I've been in the channel for a long time, and if you had ever would have told me up until about 9-10 months ago that I was going to be in insurance, I would have just laughed at you and said, yeah, right, sure. But then if you would have said, I'm going to actually be passionate about it, I would have thought you were absolutely nuts. But here I am in my 50s, sort of selling insurance. I mean, I don't really sell it. I'm kind of the PR and the voice and face of DataStream. But yeah, here I am in the insurance business kind of going, wow, how did I get here? But loving what we're doing.
If I were to become one of your salesmen at a high level, do I have to go past some state board exams or SEC or Fed or anything?
Yeah, good question. So the insurance industry as a whole, and that does not exclude cyber insurance. We're all part of the insurance industry. You have to be a licensed agent to talk in depth about insurance, to talk money about insurance, to sell insurance, as well as anybody that collects a commission off of an insurance sale does have to be a licensed agent. So I had to take an exam, did that within my first 60 days of being employed, and I'm happy to say I passed it on my first try. But so yeah, you do have to be a licensed agent. So Harry, that's kind of what we're out here to do. We're trying to be the expert resource for our MSP, MSSP partners, reseller partners, all of that. MSPs, MSSPs, these guys are the tech savvy. They know cybersecurity way better than I probably ever will. But insurance remains one of those things that's kind of a mystery to a lot of people. And you really ought to depend on an expert in cyber insurance because it's a little bit more complex than some of the other insurance products that are out there.
Well, yeah. The little I know about your area, I would concur. At the complexity, I concur because I recently, what do I carry? The $1 million commercial general liability for my company, whatever that is. Again, I don't know what I'm talking about, but I'll tell you a funny story. I was with a firm out of Portland that was going to the commercial markets and kind of lost touch with the guy. And then I started poking around my membership at USAA, okay, in San Antonio. And they offer that. I mean, on a Sunday, I was poking around and it was significantly cheaper than I was paying. I couldn't believe it. I mean, I don't know why, I don't know how, but it met my needs because I have clients. One client that's a DoD vendor, in the compliance area. And so I have to show that I'm insured. Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, you got to show that. And rumor has it we're going to have a whole lot of legislation changes coming up down the pike that could, go into effect for some of us, saying we have to kind of prove that we've got some of this stuff. And I can say from the SMB side of things, and this is often a surprise when you're talking to some of these guys, but these days when you go to apply for a small business loan, many lenders are now starting to inquire, do you have cyber insurance? So, you can kind of see where things are going with that. If you don't have cyber insurance, these banks want to make sure that you're going to be able to repay that loan at some point in time. And if you don't have cyber insurance, that may have a pretty negative effect on your approval rating.
Yeah, I could see that. When I got a loan lifetime ago with SMB Nation, to finance growth, basically, I had to add them to my life insurance policy because I'm basically I'm a key man at SMB Nation. So goes Harry, so goes SMB Nation, right? So they were added, and in fact, I don't even have that relationship. I should probably call once again USAA. I should probably call them and take a gander at what I got, but no, this has been very interesting. So final question, what tactics are you using to talk to MSPs? I've seen you at shows before. Are you on the road right now doing the booth and the speech at shows?
I was just on the road for 2 straight weeks. I happen to be home in my office at the moment, but I'm getting ready to hit the road for next week and then headed down to Exchange after that. But, really how we're going to market here is we're approaching the MSPs and asking them to become a partner with us. And that's absolutely free. There's no commitment to them whatsoever. But then we're teaching them how to bring this conversation up when they're talking to their customers, perhaps in a QBR. We also run a cyber insurance readiness assessment. That's basically an external scan. If they'll just give us the domain, like www.yahoo.com, we're going to run this scan, and we're looking at things as the insurance carriers are looking at this. And we're basically just kind of taking a look to see, do you have any risky open ports? Do you have any CVEs that hadn't been taken care of, different things like that? We're looking at the domain, the subdomains. We print out a surface map. Then we provide this report to the MSP. We don't give it to the customer. And we kind of, basically give them a green, yellow, red score. Green means this client looks very insurable, probably going to get the best premiums. Yellow says, insurable, might not be getting the best premiums, but they could take a couple of extra security posture steps or changes, add to their stack, and they probably would be up in the green side. The red typically means there's some things that are going to cause red flags that are going to keep them from getting approved. For example, the 3 hard things right now that are required by just about every carrier out there: MFA, offsite or cloud backup, EDR, MDR, XDR, whatever flavor of that you want. So those are the 3 real hard things that we're looking for. But then we take a look at everything else, and we kind of help coach that MSP. And we say, if they're yellow or if they're red, that typically means you can bring us into the conversation as the bad cop. For example, if it's red and they don't have MFA, MSPs tell me this all the time. I'm talking to my customers for 2 years, telling them they need to get MFA, but they're like, I'm not big enough. You're just trying to sell me something extra. I don't really need it. Bring us into the conversation and we say, Mr. and Mrs. Customer, you really should listen to your MSP because they know what they're talking about. Because without MFA right now, you're uninsurable. Nobody is going to approve you. When we do that, all of a sudden, they go right to the MSP. Okay, you've been telling me this. How much does it cost? How long is it going to take? What do we got to do? And MSPs love us because we're really helping them protect themselves, the MSP, because if their clients get hit by any type of incident and they get knocked out for a couple of weeks, couple of months, that could dramatically impact the MSP's revenue stream. So that's how we're trying to do it. And we try to make it real easy too. I mean, we got a universal application that the customers fill out. They send it to us. We do all the legwork. Then we come back with comparative quotes. We highlight the differences between the quotes. We take a white glove approach and explain everything. And then we match the quotes to the customer's specific business requirements. So it's not like a one size fits all. Here's a policy that's going to work for you. We really try to take a look at that customer's individual requirements and match a very good policy against those requirements, and then we'll help them bind it and all of that good stuff.
All
So
right.
that was a long-winded answer, wasn't it?
Yeah, there we go. So, well, hey, you're in the Dallas area. I'm in Austin. So let me know if you get down this way. It'd be fun to get together, and we'll reach out to you later in the year, maybe Q4. I'd like to continue this conversation. Maybe you could be thinking about between now and let's get past ConnectWise and past Acronis and a couple of early November shows. Let me know what you're hearing. Let me know what the trends are as we head into 2023 in your field.
We would love to do that. And I certainly thank you today for the opportunity to speak with you, Harry.
All right. All right.
Hey, take care now.